they become a nation, they need a place to become a nation and to grow together in a sense of identity and culture and so on. So God is preparing Egypt as the womb, the place where that vision that he gave to Abraham will be partially fulfilled. So when his people arrive at a certain point, at a critical mass of nationhood and national identity, then he will take them out from Egypt and take them into that promised land, Canaan, that he had told Abraham 200 plus years before that he was going to take him. So you see this God who takes his time to bring about visions, preparing every step of the way. So when Joseph is sold to Egypt by his brothers, God is really brooding and preparing this whole strategic plan that he will then finalize to a certain degree when he takes his people and takes them from the desert and have them cross the Jordan River into the land of Canaan and become the Israelites, the Israeli people. It took another 200 plus years when Joseph lands in Egypt as a slave, 200 plus more years before, and by then Joseph is long dead, before the people of Israel are taken out of Egypt. And you know the story in Genesis as well. And they go into the desert, and finally 40 years later into the promised land. So you're talking about almost 500 years from the moment that God gives Abraham his first vision to the moment that he gives Joseph, this young man, 17 years old, his dream, his vision, to the moment then when he speaks to Moses, and then those 40 years in the desert, and then finally. So one of the things that you begin to see is that God takes his time. God is a strategic thinker. And but God is always on the move. And many times, many of the things that he's doing in our life may seem that it's the opposite of what he has promised us. It takes a long time. And one of the things that you need to understand as a leader and as a future leader is that you are always working in God's timing, not in your own timing. You have to have a long-term vision. You have to cultivate a lot of patience because you're dealing with a very patient God. I mean, God thinks in terms of eons or whatever.